channel. Today I thought I'd film this pink rose goldy champagne-y makeup tutorial for you. Haven't quite got the name yet, as you may have figured. Most of the products that I have used today are MAC, except for about 2 or 3. I just figured that a lot of people do own MAC, or they do like MAC, so I thought it would be quite easy for you to recreate. But if you want to see how I did this, then please keep watching. I've just started off by prepping my skin with some eye cream and some moisturiser, and for this I just used the Origins Ginseng range. And then I went in and filled in my eyebrows with my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown, and I did mix it in with a little bit of MAC Black Track, just sort of starting from about 1/3 of the way in out towards the end, just because lately I've been feeling like the dip brow in dark brown is just slightly too pale for my hair colour, especially now that my natural colour is starting to come through and you can see that all my roots are just black. I'm starting off with a slightly different primer today, and this is the Nivea Men Aftershave Balm. I just figured everybody's doing it, so I want to do it too. And this is only really my second time using it, so I haven't actually got a review of this yet, but so far so good. I seem to like it. I've seen Nikki tutorials use this, and I know that you really need to rub it in until it becomes kind of tacky. You all know my base routine by now. I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown corrector in Deep Peach. I am seriously beginning to think that there really is no dupe for this, so if you guys have found anything, please let me know. Just get in touch somehow, because you know how much I love this, and I'm always looking for alternatives. Next I'm going in with Painterly. This is a MAC paint pot. I'm just taking it on a flat shadow brush. In case you can't tell, my nails have really grown out, they're disgusting, and I just don't like sticking my fingers into pots. I'm taking it all the way up to the brow bone, but I'm not really taking any more product onto the brush. I really just want to neutralise the pigmentation on my lids, and it also acts as a primer. I know that it does crease on a lot of people, so if you're one of those, you can just put your normal eyeshadow primer on underneath. Next, you can take a shadow that kind of matches your skin tone just to set the paint pot. I don't really have one in front of me, and so I'm just going to go into Cork on just a MAC 217, just taking it into my crease. To be honest, if you do set the paint pot with a similar shadow, it does make it a lot easier to blend. I'm then going into Saddle, which is just a bit more of a reddy, sort of warmer brown. But of course, you should use any sort of transition shade that's close enough to your skin tone. I just like to use the 2, but you could use 1 if you prefer. These are just the 2 that work well for my skin. I'm now just taking a tiny bit of this, just right on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going over where I applied the other colour, keeping it sort of lower down because it is a slightly darker shade. It just kind of creates a bit of extra depth. I'm now going in with All That Glitters. I'm just taking it on a flat shadow brush, and I'm literally just placing it not even 1/3 of the way across, because I'm going to be using quite a few different colours. It doesn't matter if you take it a little bit too far in, because I'm doing it so that I start with the palest colour and working my way out to the darkest colour, and so you can always layer a slightly darker shade on top of the paler one. I'm then going in with Honey Lust. On the same brush, same side. This one's very, very chalky and there's quite a lot of fallout with it, so I just tap off the excess. So I've just taken it slightly over that first shade, which was All That Glitters. You can just sort of blend it in by kind of feathering the 2 colours together. Using the same brush, I'm going in with Mythology. Again, just slightly overlapping that other colour and just sort of tapping this one on because there is quite a lot of fallout. And then I'm going into Twinks. I'm just using a different brush. This is the Real Techniques Bold Metals Crease brush, I think. And I'm literally just putting that onto my outer V, and I'm just blending whatever's left on my brush in. I just want a little bit more depth, so I am just going to take it slightly further in, about 1/2 to 2/3 of the way in, but you don't have to do that. And then the best tip that I can give you when it comes to making your eyeshadow look flawless is basically do steps 1 to however many there are all over again. So I started off with Cork on the same brush. I just go back in just to sort of deepen the colours, because again, through blending you lose so much of the pigment. By putting this Cork over it, I'm also helping blend out the Twinks as well. I'm going in with All That Glitters, and I'm just using the tiniest amount here. I just like to pat it on because that way you get a bit more pigment out of it. I am taking it slightly onto my inner tear ducts just to highlight that area. Next I'm going in with Honey Lust. I'm just using the same brush just to blend the two shadows together. Next is Mythology, same brush again. Now I really like Mythology next to Twinks. I might put a little bit more on, and I may also wet the brush. I won't wet the brush yet, I'm just going to finish off with a bit of Twinks, just so that I can map out exactly where I want it. So I'm going to get a smaller brush and just go back into Mythology. I'm going to get a good amount on my brush, so really sort of smush it in there. And then I'm going to take my Fix Plus and just pat it on. Then I'm going to take a clean blending brush, this is my MAC 224, and just buff all the colours out. I don't want any harsh lines, especially on my crease. Because these shadows are so shimmery, there was quite a bit of fallout, so I have ended up taking off quite a bit of my corrector, but that's fine. I probably shouldn't have put it on in the first place, to be honest. Now that that's done, I'm going to go into Nylon, which is my favourite brow bone highlight. I don't like taking it all the way in. I like to do it at the highest point and then just sort of blend out on either side. And then going into my MAC Black Track and just applying it with a bent liner brush. Next I'm going in with my Holy Grail mascara, which is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I'm just going to apply a thin layer because I'm going to apply some false eyelashes. I'm just going to tightline with my Lancome Kohl Hypnose waterproof eyeliner pencil. Try not to poke yourself in the eye when you do that. If you find it easier, you can just sort of close your eye and put your pencil in slightly and just sort of go back and forth, but obviously really slowly. You will get some on the outside like I just did. So while I wait for my eyes to settle down a little bit, I'm just going to get my strip lashes ready. These are by Novu Lashes and they're called the Style Number 1. I've never used anything from this brand before, it's my first time, but I do like the fact that they have a clear lash band. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me today because I do have eyeliner on, but that's really handy if you don't want to wear eyeliner, and they just look quite natural, which is quite nice, I think. So I've just put my lashes on. I'm going to go back in with my Bobbi Brown corrector. Then I'm going in with my MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC42. I like to apply my corrector and then my foundation and then go in over the top with my concealer. This may come as a bit of a shock, but it's not my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Recently I've been trying out this new Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer in the shade Y41. I've only worn it a couple of times, but so far I really like it, and actually the shade is perfect for me. You only need the tiniest amount because a little bit really does go a long way with this. To be honest, that is probably a bit too much. I don't know if it's because my NARS concealer is running out, but compared to that one at the moment, I find that this one is a lot better coverage. And as you can see, it really does hide my dark circles. Because it is slightly orange toned, because that's what my dark circles need, I'm going in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC42. I'm just taking the tiniest amount. This is probably too much, but it's really hard to get half a pump. And I'm just applying it underneath this, just to sort of blend it in. I'm just going to set it with this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium Dark. I'm also just going to set my T-zone with this. To contour, I'm using this powder by MAC in the shade Taupe. I'm just using a Real Techniques Bold Metals. Wow, this is really pigmented. I really like this brush to apply the product to my face, but when I do get too much product like you just saw, I just like to take a fluffy brush, and this is the MAC, I think it's a 129, it's rubbed out, but I think it's a 129. I just like to sort of blend it out with this. I just take the edge of the brush, just run it down the centre of my nose because you want to bring a bit of dimension back to the face. I'm then going in with this highlight powder from MAC called Emphasize, and I'm just going to set the top of my cheekbones. I haven't used this product in such a long time and I kind of forgot how much I like it. I mean, it's not shimmery, but there's just something about it. It's kind of glowy on the skin and I just really like it. Then I'm going in with this Milani Baked blush in the shade Berry and More. I just thought I'd stick to the sort of pink, goldy, shimmery shades. I'm just using the Sigma Tapered Face brush in F25. I'm applying a lot more at the top. I'm applying this in a slightly different way, not so much on the apples of my cheek, but kind of coming down almost like a triangle shape. Next I'm using this MAC highlight shade in the shade Definitely Defined. It's actually really old, so I'm not sure if they do this anymore, or even if it was limited edition really, but I'm just applying it with a fan brush. It's a really sort of beautiful golden shade. I'm just applying that on the tops of my cheeks. I'm only dipping my brush in once and I'm just sort of diffusing that colour out. I'll leave the links below to every single product that I've used. Hopefully I can still find this one, but if not, MAC Soft and Gentle is a really good alternative. I'm going to finish off my eyes by taking Twinks, and I'm just going to run it all along the lower lash line. I also just like to sort of bring it up as well, up toward the wing, just to kind of blend it in. I just like to coat my bottom lashes with a bit of mascara, just to balance the look out, especially when I have falsies on. And lastly, to finish off, I'm going in with my Soar lip pencil. I'm not generally a fan of lip pencils that you have to sharpen, but I really like Soar. It's such a creamy formula that it just glides onto the lips, because some lip pencils that I've used, it's so hard. You feel like you're literally engraving your lips with the pencil, but this one's really nice. I'm going to go in with Kinda Sexy by MAC. My other alternative was Please Me, but it's a little bit too pink, and I've got quite a lot of pink on my face for my liking. Kinda Sexy is a matte lipstick by MAC, but it's actually a really nice formula. It's not drying on the lips, it doesn't drag, it doesn't do any of that, so I really like it. But this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you have a great Valentine's Day, whatever you do. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. It would mean so much to me. I'll list all the products that I've used below in the description box, and I'll also list all of my social media so that you can follow me everywhere. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!